Let's talk about sleep, because as we settle into the new year, many of us are trying to get our sleep schedules back on track after the festive break, where one or two of you perhaps went overboard. I'm saying nothing particular. Now, whether it's to go to work or take the kids to school, it can be quite hard to get up in the morning, especially if you've had a poor night's sleep and it is freezing cold, because the willpower isn't there. Now, I'm sure we could all do with some advice on how to get back into a healthy nighttime routine. Luckily, we're joined now by sleep expert Dr Lindsay Browning. Lindsay, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the programme, Lindsay. Why is it so hard to get back into a good sleeping pattern at this time of year?
A few things. So we just had a lovely relaxing break, and maybe over the Christmas period, especially New Year, we might have been going to bed a bit later and sleeping in, and then moving our body, our circadian rhythm back to those early mornings to get up ready for work can actually be quite difficult. It's a bit like when the clocks change. Even though it's only an hour when the clocks change in October and March, that hour makes a difference. So if you've been going to bed later, waking up later, we need to start getting back earlier. And also the dark nights, the long nights, the short days mean that we don't get as much sunshine, which means that really affects our circadian rhythm. We need to get bright sunshine during the day to help us feel happy and awake during the day. So it's sort of a perfect storm. But there are lots of things you can do to get your sleep back on track. Okay.
So did you say circadian rhythm?
Now, yeah, your circadian rhythm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's internally, we'll have our biology means that our bodies know what time it is without us needing to look at a clock. And that's what gives us jet lag. It means that our bodies produce digestive enzymes when it's breakfast time, when it's lunchtime. Our bodies know what time it is. And that's called our circadian rhythm. And our circadian rhythm helps us to make melatonin, which we secrete at night, which helps us to feel sleepy. And if your circadian rhythm is kind of in the wrong time, it can make you either feel sleepy too early or too late and make it harder to fall asleep. And also it can make you feel more sleepy during the day if your circadian rhythm doesn't know that daytime is daytime, basically.
How do we know if our circadian rhythm is doing okay? Because I've got a few health issues at the moment, to be honest with you, Doctor. I'm waiting for a hernia operation and a heart bypass. I don't want to mess about with my circadian rhythm as well.
So basically, to help our circadian rhythm to be the best it can be, what we want to do is to get lots of natural daylight exposure. And it's a win-win, because if we go outside during the day, even if it's a cloudy day, that natural light exposure will help us, our bodies, to know that it's daytime, but it will help us to feel more alert. It'll also help us to feel happier, because you might have heard of seasonal affective disorder,
yes.
SAD. Yeah, the winter blues. And that's because when we don't get enough sunshine, enough light exposure, it makes us feel really down. So getting outside, getting natural daylight exposure will help you to feel more awake during the day. It will help you to sleep better at night. And nighttime is where our immune system is boosted. So if we get a good night's sleep, it means that we are hopefully going to be more healthy. We're going to be more refreshed. And hopefully you'll be able to recover from that hernia operation better as well. So yeah, lots of nice bright sunshine during the day is important.
What can we do, Doctor, to improve our sleeping habits? Now, I've never been a great sleeper. Last night, up at 3:00, tried to resist it. I thought, no, I've got to go. And because I had a bad dream, I thought, no, I'll have some chamomile tea, and that seems to have done the trick. Went back to bed about 4:30, and then I couldn't wake up this morning.
Well, that sounds like you did a good thing there, because sometimes if we wake up and we can't go back to sleep again, just staying in bed trying to force it can actually make things worse.
Yes.
Because we toss and turn, get more frustrated. So getting up and having a little break and having a decaffeinated tea like a chamomile tea is a great thing to do, especially right now when it's cold. You probably went downstairs, the heating wasn't on. So a nice warm drink can help us to feel calm and relaxed, sort of reset, and then you can go back to bed again. But it's important not to aim for perfect sleep. You know, New Year's resolutions can kind of feel like, all right, let's create this new perfect me. But sleep isn't something you can perfect. So just reduce pressure about sleep. Don't try and control every minute. Don't start, tracking your sleep with a sleep tracker and trying to get an exact amount of deep sleep and REM sleep. Just go to bed at a reasonable time, fairly regular time. Get up at the same kind of time each morning and give yourself a nice wind down time before bed so that it's taking the pressure off. You're feeling calm and relaxed, not thinking, oh my goodness, I have to go to sleep immediately.
And you've been very helpful this afternoon. Thank you, Lindsay. Can I just ask you, is it true that you can perhaps get too much sleep? For those that can sleep, you can have too much.
Well, that's a great question. So the correlations mean that people who sleep excessively, people who sleep for sort of like 10, 11 hours, tend to be less healthy than people who sleep sort of 7 to 9 hours. However, we don't think it's because sleeping more makes you sick. It's more likely that people who are already sick tend to sleep for more time. And maybe if you're sleeping a lot, like needing 10, 11 hours sleep, it might be a sign that the sleep quality you're getting isn't actually that good. And sleep apnea is sort of the number one likely cause of that, which is a breathing disorder, meaning you keep waking up throughout the night, snoring. You might not even realize it's happening. So you will need a lot more sleep because actually the sleep you're getting is rubbish.
Doctor, good to have you on. Thank you so much. The sleep expert, Dr. Lindsay Browning.